it's not rational. So I will just try to do something right here. So we have root 3, but I do know root 3 times root 3. If I just multiply root 3 by root 3, that is basically square of root 3, which is going to be just 3 itself. So that means if I multiply my first equation with itself, then I will have a rational number in the denominator. So that's why I'm going to multiply 3 by root 3 and root 3 by root 3. That is going to be my first fraction. I just multiply both by root 3, which is going to be my first fraction. And right here I have root 2, then I will multiply by root 2, so I can get the same number. Okay, so when I multiply these two numbers, as I said right here, so root 3 times root 3 is basically square of root 3, which is basically 3. So that's why I multiply this by root 3. That's going to be 3 root 3 divided by 3. That is my first fraction. And the same idea, we do have root 2 times root 2. So I can multiply them to get 2. That's going to be 6 root 2 over 2. So if you look at the option choices, the most like similar like choices A and B, maybe this one is not actually the choice, but we have 3 and 2 now, which is not like 2 and 3, which is not going to be easy that way. But if I multiply this by 2, this by 3, I will have denominator of 6, but I don't have anything like that. So normally we are trying to add the like fractions to get the same denominator, but when I do this with this problem, as you see, I don't have anything like this in the choices. So the choices has given as root numbers. So that means we don't really need to make the denominators are the rational. So that's why I'm gonna just get rid of those because I don't really need to, because they don't have rational numbers in the denominator. So, but in general, this is what we do. But in this question, this is not going to help us because the denominators are not rational number. So that is a hint for us. So we can see that we are not going to make the denominator the rational number. Okay. So instead, I'm going to multiply the first equation, first fraction by root 2. Okay. I'm going to multiply that by root 2. So let's see what's going to happen. So if I multiply by this root 2, then I will multiply the numerator as well, which is going to be my first fraction, plus I will just write the same as the second one, which is going to be 6 over root 2. And I will multiply this by root 3 and divide by root 3, which is basically 1. So if I do this one, actually, let me just write this way. So basically what I just did, I just multiply both fraction by something so I can get the same number. So if I multiply 3 by root 2, that's going to be 3 root 2 over root 3 times root 2 is root 6. We can multiply the numbers in the radical, so which is going to be root 6. And this is going to be 6 times root 3, which is 6 root 3, divided by root 2 times root 3, which is going to be root 6. So this is what we have now, but it looks like A is going to be the right answer because now we have a number in the denominators of both fractions which are the same. Then I could add the numerator. So it's going to be 3 root 2 plus 6 root 3, and this is going to be divided by 6. As you see, this is going to be our choice A. So I hope that is clear. So let me just remind one thing right here. So whenever you guys have different roots, this is root 2, this is root 3, you may not add them, okay? So some people are trying to add like 3 by 6, which is 9, and then they just add 2 by 3, which is 5, which is not going to work with radicals, okay? Just be aware on that one. So actually, we don't really need to know anything about the matrix because in this question, we are already told what we need to. So it says, what is the determinant of this matrix? And determinant of this matrix is given as negative 26. This is already given. And based on this information, we need to find the x, but we are already given the determinant of A, B, C, D matrix is going to be A times D, which is basically we are multiplying these two numbers and we are multiplying these two numbers and find the difference. That is called determinant of a 2 by 2 matrix. Okay, so there are other ways to find it as well, like for 3 by 3 or something like that. But in this case, we are already given right here how to find the determinant of a 2 by 2 matrix. So that's basically mean I will multiply these two numbers 6 times -3 and minus I will multiply 2 by x, which is going to be difference between those two product is given -26. And this is all that means for the determinant of a matrix, 2 by 2 matrix. So which is going to be -18 minus 2x equals -26. So we are going to solve this equation for x, which is I think easier for everyone at this point. So I'm going to add 18 to both sides. So we can cancel those 18s, which is going to be -8. So I can just divide by -2 to cancel those, and it's going to be just 4. Okay, so I hope that is fine for everyone. That's going to be our final answer. So first of all, again, I will say we can use the plugin technique right here because we are basically given some of the information about A and B. So it says A is equal to 3 more than, okay, I mean 20 more than 3 times of the B. So that's going to be A, and B is given as even. So, and then if that's the case, which one is going to be true from the given choices? Okay, so now since we are told the B's number given as like even number, we can plug a number for that number B. If this is like even number, to make it simple, let's pick A2. Then this is going to be 6 plus this will be, this is also even number, which is also another even number. So this is just plugging. We can plug maybe 4. You can get another number, which is gonna be also even number. But you can see this right there from this equation. So whenever we have this even number, even times odd is always odd. I mean, even numbers, even times odd is always even number. So 3b is going to be always even number because one of those product is even. So the product of those two numbers has to be even whenever you have at least one even number. So you can just explore with some other numbers as well, but we don't really need to. So this 3b is always even. Even plus even has to be even. So we do know if b is even, a has to be even as well. There is no other ways. Okay, that is something we need to see. You can pick negative numbers, you can pick zeros. It doesn't really change the A has to be always even as well. That is something I saw from this given information. So let's look at the choices. If that's the case, A plus B, so A and B are even, so the sum is going to be even. And A times B always even because at least one of them is even, then the result is going to product of two numbers is going to be always even. So A and B is even, so even times even will be always even. So now A plus B is even and A times B is even, always be odd integer, which is not the case. This is wrong. Okay, so you can plug those numbers just to see if that's the case. You can plug 26 and 2 into this part. You'll see that those are going to be always even numbers, which is not odd. So part B, it says these two are even numbers. Okay, I think we are gonna have this is for sure. And let's check the other two just to be sure. A plus B always be odd number. No, we saw A plus B is always even. A times B is always even. That is always even. This is also always even. This is correct, but this is wrong. And this is the other way around. This is even is okay, but odd is not. So choice E says A plus B and A times B will be rational number that are not in the set of integers. So this is not always the case. As we see, I just picked B equals even number as 2, and I got A is also another integer. So A times B is integer. A plus B is also integer. So choice E is not correct either. So that's why answer B is going to be our final answer. So guys, I want you guys read the question and understand the question first of all. That is going to be our really important step. So if you read the question, it says, we are given a picture right here, and based on this like figure, we are gonna find a vertical line. So we are gonna have a vertical line from like one of the points, And that vertical line is going to divide this region into two equal area with a vertical line. So in order to have the equal two areas, I need to know the whole area of this figure. So that's why I'm going to just actually separate this figure into some pieces. So some people already know how to find the area of a trapezoid. If you already know, so just go ahead and do that way, which is already fine. But I'm not going to do that way. So I'm going to just separate this triangle, this trapezoid into three regions, because I do know how to find the area of a triangle. I do know how to find the area of a rectangle or square. Those are really easier stuff. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units in this distance. I'm gonna just say this is 5, because actually this is 4, because this is from to here is 5 units, but we have one missing, so it's going to be just 4 units. So this is 4, and this distance is 3 units, so I'm going to have this 3, and this is also 4, and this is 1, and this distance is 4. So the area of this triangle is 4 times 3 over 2, which is 6. So I have 6 units, and 4 times 1 over 2 is going to be 2 right here, and this is 4 units, this is 4 units, 4 times 4 will be 16. So the whole area of this shape is basically 24. Okay, so I'm going to add those numbers, and that gives me 24. This is the area of the whole figure, but we are looking for a vertical lines that's going to divide this area into two equal pieces, which is 12 will be one side, other 12 should be on the other side. So if I just draw this vertical line, as you see, it's going to be have only 6 units on this side. So that means I need to have like 6 more, because the half of 24 is going to be 12. So 6 is right here. I need to have like 6 more area on this piece. So this side is given 4. I need to multiply 4 by something. Okay, so 4 by something. So I can get another like area of 6, which gives me 1.5. So that's basically means if I have this point and this point and draw my vertical line through those 2 points, so I should have the same area on both region. And this is going to be my vertical line, which is going to be x equals, this is 1.5 units, this was 4, so it's going to be 5.5. So again, it's really easy to check your work. So this area to the left of that line has to be 6. So I do know this is 4. 4 times this distance has to be 6, which is 1.5. And you see this is 6. That means this piece have to be 10, and this was already 2. So 10 plus 2 is 12. 6 plus 6 is 12. And we got the answer as x equals 5.5 line. So that's going to be choice B. One more time. So it's basically, let me just actually remind that function real quick. So whenever you have a logarithm of something, okay, let's say base is a to b, let's say this number is the value of that function, is equal to x. Let's say this is the notation that we use, which is like kind of weird. And this basically means this is going to be our base. I'm going to just take this number as my base, and the power of that base is going to be this number, which is x. This is equal to this value, which is going to be b. So I need you guys to say this really easy, because this is the only thing that you need to remember about the logarithm functions. So if you can just convert this to exponent, then you are going to be fine with this kind of question. So that basically means this is my base, and this is the equal value of this logarithm. So that means basically 4 to the 3rd power. So I'm going to just take this base, and to the power of that number is equal to whatever I have right here, which is 32 plus x. So now this is going to be 64, which is going to be 32 plus x. If you subtract 32 from both sides, you will get x equals 32. And that was our last choice. So again, this is number like 42, which is not too bad as long as we remember the definition of the logarithm function. So that is actually that big. So first of all, I want you guys to remember something that we use like notation. So whenever you see this equation, This is basically a divided by b. So I'm going to just write it as fraction so I can see what's going on, I think, easily, which is going to be 3 over 4. And the second fraction is basically b over c is equal to 6 over 5. You don't have to do this one if you do see what we are dealing with, but the key information right here that we need to be careful is my common numbers. So in this case, b is equals to 4, b equals to 6. So since those two numbers are not equal to each other, then I will just make them equal to each other. Otherwise, I can't say a to c is going to be 3 over 5. That's not going to work because b is not the same number. B equals 4 and b equals 6. So I need to make those numbers same so I can work with them easily. So in order to do them, 4 and 6 is least common multiple of those two numbers are 12. So that means I can multiply this by 3. So to get 12, I can multiply this by 3 as well. I need to have the same fraction. So 3 fourths and 9 12 is the same number. So that's why I can do that. And then I will multiply this by 2 so I can get the same number as b, which is going to be that one. So that means I can just say this fraction is going to be equal. So to 9 over 12 and 12 over 10. So that means a is going to be equal to 9 and c is going to be equal to 10. Okay, so that's going to be choice A. So some people are saying 3 to 5, which is not correct just because if you look at this b is equal to 4 and b, the first number, is equal to 6. They are not equal number. So you need to make the ratio the same so you can compare A to C. So that's why the choice A is going to be our final answer.